you know what? Let's just cut down to the chase. Let's just cut down to forget the intro. My sponsor today is World Finance with this stuff, but I'll get to World Finance in a little bit. We have an emergency broadcast. We have an emergency broadcast. Some things are going on here in the area. Parents want to be heard. Parents want to be heard. I am a fan of parents getting heard. Let's see what they got to say. There's a movement going on of parents signing petitions. They're meeting at Peter Piper. We're going to get some more information, some perspective, what's going on from their points of view. I'm going to bring in a guest. He's one of the dads that I get. I've coached 3 of his sons there at Chavez Middle School. And let's hear from them and what's going on from the parent side. And they want to follow sports. My guest today is un tocayo. I went to high school with him. I coach his sons. My friend, Rudy Olivarez. Rudy Olivarez, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, Mendez. How you doing this afternoon?
Doing all right, man. I'm glad you reached out. I want to see. I want people to hear the perspective of parents. I know some people were commenting on the thread I put about people deciding for them. There's different perspectives. Kids, parents. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. So, what are we looking at today? What's going on right now? You're at Peter Piper in Palmview.
Yeah, we parents wanted to get together, talk about what's going on, part of this APAC parent committee, that were elected about a month and a half ago, before the fall sport was canceled, and there was word that we, the committee, canceled fall sports. Supposedly there's a article out there. I did not get to see it. I did hear about it in our last meeting that we had last week, which was false. I mean, we, as a parent committee, never got to vote fall sports for no go. We did have a meeting the first about a month and a half before the cancellation, postponed, and that first meeting was just basically an introduction of how the fall sport is going to look like, what process procedures they're going to take in consideration, the buses, 15, 16 kids per bus for a game. Not the whole band was going to be playing. Things like that was part of the meeting. Never
some modification. Just talking about you were just talking about modifications to consider.
Proposal of a plan and concerns, what the parents might think or suggest, but never a vote amongst the committee, the parent committee, which is involved 3 senior. Well, this were basically picked on senior parents that have kids that are senior, which was 3 for football, 3 for cross country, 3 for volleyball from all 3 high schools were involved in this meeting. Athletic directors, coaches, head coaches, But like I said, it was never a decision, like a meeting.
All right, Rudy.
Besides, yeah.
Yeah. So when you talk about the APEC committee, you talk about those parents. When you meet, you're meeting with some of the coaches and some of the athletic directors, or just parents by themselves?
Head coaches on the Zoom meetings. Head coaches, athletic directors, principals.
So it's parents and then some administrators.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So you're talking about when you met a month ago, there was no vote. It was just talks about the proposal, and this was before fall sports were canceled.
That is correct.
So according to what you're telling me, just so we can make sure that the audience knows, is
a week before. Week before exactly.
Before
it was announced, fall sports have been canceled.
Okay, so you had this meeting with the administrators, the proposal of the modifications, and then it was just talked about, but there were no votes. And then a week later, fall sports are canceled. Is that correct?
I believe Thursday.
Más o menos.
On Thursday, Hidalgo County of that week, Thursday, I noticed Hidalgo County extended their shelter in place. So Friday, an emergency meeting was called, and that's when they announced that they had postponed fall sports.
An emergency meeting by who? Are you talking about the school board?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not sure who, but I mean, it was athletic director, coaches, called in the parents back again into this emergency meeting, and letting us know that they had canceled fall sports.
Okay. So basically somebody or the people in charge, that's their job.
Hmm. Yeah.
They made the decision to cancel fall sports. So which I think we're already okay. So we got that timeline down. We understand what's going on. So right now, you and a number of parents are at Peter Piper Pizza Palmview, and basically you're doing what Mission did is having parents and people sign a petition because you guys want fall sports to go on.
The a lot of parents do want
A lot
to
of, not
voice
all
their
parents, but a lot of parents.
yes, they want their choice.
Right.
As parent part of the parent committee. Well, I was told, well, I gotta speak out for part of the La Jolla committee.
Right.
So that's where I'm at here. I mean, of course we have our pros and cons, but we want to hear out a little bit more.
Right. And,
This proposal, not just quit or hang up the hat like they say for our boys that they've. I mean, since seventh, eighth grade, since they're a kid. I mean, this was their dream to play on those Friday night games.
yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of parents that they want the choice.
So right now, Rudy, there Peter Piper. There's parents from Palmview High School, La Jolla High School, and Juarez Lincoln High School.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
We're getting together.
Right.
As a pack. Like they
Yeah.
say, we're a pack.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's Pack Stadium, right? The stadium's named Pack Stadium, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
So I guess let me ask you some questions and make some comments and see to try to understand. I guess the biggest thing is try to understand the viewpoints of the parents that do have their kids that are juniors and seniors. One thing is, for example, I think we talked about 2-3 days ago or yesterday was talk to us about the whole transfer window or something about that nature, the Tuesday or the deadline or what's going on there.
Mm,
Well, before that, let's talk. Sorry,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Before
Go
that,
ahead.
let's talk about this. So I'm assuming that most parents there have a son that's going to be either a senior or a junior, for the most part.
We have freshman kids out here too that want to play.
Right.
Parents as well.
Right.
It's not just parents coming out here that are seniors. We have kids. I think we have a few out here that have their sons or daughters that are freshmen. For
Yeah.
volleyball. Track. So I mean, not only
Cross country.
junior and senior parents are coming out.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess the main point is there's parents that want sports. Now I came up with a statement. I've talked to a few people after I talked to you. Is, for example, right now, if a parent is not going to let their kid play, whether a district or in this case this district, if this district, I know there was 2 or more that announced this past week, but if this district says, well, we're not going to have fall sports, well, that doesn't affect the parent that wasn't going to let their kid play either way, right? It doesn't affect it. Go ahead. I'll keep talking. Don't worry. Go ahead. Fix that. I'll keep talking.
All right, go ahead. Try it again.
Yeah.
So
So,
came in and
I got you. So, if a parent was already in their mind going to say, well, I'm not going to let my kid play, if there's fall sports or if there's not fall sports, that parent and that child doesn't get affected because the mom or dad weren't going to let them play. But for the parents that were going to let their kids play, you're affected because there's no fall sports. You have no
correct.
choice. People had a choice. And I think that's what
That's
we're
correct.
fighting here, or that's what you guys are fighting the most. Would that be a
Choice.
correct statement? The
Yes.
choice?
Those that would like to participate, they would like the choice. I mean, we might not even get the whole team, but at least we got to try. We can't leave these guys out hanging. I mean,
Right.
that's what that's what they're taught. Like, don't give up. Don't give up. It's fourth quarter. Don't give up.
Yeah.
I always see that in games, third quarter, fourth quarter comes in. Hey, right here.
Yeah.
Fourth
Everybody
quarter.
picks up their hand.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Right. So Rudy, and talk with those parents and the committee that you guys have, and parents want to play. What is the mindset of the risk factor? How do you approach mentally that risk factor of COVID in your personal household and the parents in your committee?
And my household, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a virus out there. I mean, I've been working for the past 5 months, mandatory mask. Now we're terminated from work. I got used to using it. My wife's medical field or pediatric. She's tested. Kids were positive. COVID. She wears her protective gear. She's been fine. Thank God. You know, I mean, we've been working through life. We have not stopped and climbed into our home and not come out. It's cold, yeah, it's real, but I mean, as others like, um, I mean, kids are out there playing. You
Talk to me
know,
about that. You told me you've been coaching all summer long.
that is correct.
What have you been coaching,
We've been
Rudy?
coaching baseball, 12U and 14U. Um, a few freshmen, or quite a few freshmen, that will be attending La Jolla, Palmview area, and idea schools from McAllen, Edinburgh. And this has been happening twice a week for the past 3 4 months. You know, the thing of ours idea was, let's get these kids on our hands and teach them that you got to wear a sleeve, a mask to um, for safety. Show them what the real world is at this present time. You know,
Right.
somebody has to do it. You know,
Yeah.
you can't just keep them in their room and locked up because they're gonna go depression, anxiety. 'Cause you're
Right.
just
It's
feeding them.
the social. Yeah, the social interaction.
You're just feeding them negativity. Just keeping them hostage in their rooms.
All right, Rudy. With that being said, and I get that. I think most of us educators and most parents during the quarantine saw that kids were the behavior and they're used to that social interaction. But let me ask you this: with the whole, it was just baseball. Were you guys just practicing twice a week? Were you participating in tournaments, in games? Did you travel? What was that like with teams?
We did participate about 3 months ago in a tournament here in Mission. You know, it was Saturday games. We played two. Then Sunday games we played four. Um, they wear their mask, their sleeves. They're on outfield. Hey, remove your sleeve. You feel like feel free to. The kids were like, nah, coach, we're good because
Ha-
they had already adapted of wearing a
Right,
sleeve for their safety and their family safety. They already got that. I'm talking about our 12U. You know,
12U.
they're 12U. 11 years old, 10
And
years
it was
old.
in Mission, you say?
hmm And we have a
It,
bunch of teams coming in from Westlaco. Here
Right.
locally.
So run us through that a little bit. What does it look like? I mean, I don't know because I haven't gone out. I mean,
Yeah.
with tournaments and stuff. But what does it look like in the stands, in the bleachers, in the bench? Guide us through that. So we can see a picture of what it looks like when you're there.
Um, I mean, people are wearing their sleeves, masks. Little social distancing. I mean, of course, you have their few that I'm not gonna wear my sleeve or mask. You're part of my team, part of the parents. I mean, respect our parents. Move off to the side, and I would, so there's things like that. They do wear masks.
So parents.
Some
So there's
don't.
people in the stands. So there's people in
Oh
the
yeah.
stands.
hmm
Interesting.
In our dugout, I mean, we try not to. Hey, there's two, three. Hey, the other ones stand outside, have a seat. Do social distancing.
I got
And
you.
and if you're in the dugout, make sure you wear your sleeve.
Right.
Things like that. I mean,
It's interesting you mentioned that because around the state, I was talking to E-Rush, my buddy that I had here. He's in California. He was talking about his stuff and his situation with his club teams. But around the state here, I got buddies in San Antonio. They put it up on Facebook. Their kids, 4, 6, 7, 8 years old, they're playing soccer. I have another buddy of mine who he hosts basketball tournaments. They're having basketball tournaments.
yeah,
I know we have I remember if you remember Ethan. His mom posts
yeah.
on Facebook. He's participating in basketball tournaments. He's been to like 2 or 3 of them. Maybe, I mean, I should have invited her too. I don't know if she's part of your program or your committee. Maybe you might want to get her in there with you guys because I've seen her Facebooks where she posts that her son is playing in sports up north. Uh, So I guess at this point, there are parents that are
Oh
deciding
yeah.
to play in tournaments, leagues, and practice and training.
Matter of fact, last week we had our high school team, our 14U, which mostly freshmen. I got my oldest son in there. Got
Yeah.
to have him do something. So we
Okay.
went into our first tournament because we're kind of hard time having for their age to get together enough team,
Is that baseball
enough
you're talking about
players.
still? Are you still talking about
Baseball.
baseball?
We're
Okay.
still talking about baseball. So we were in a tournament last week. Played 3 games. In the weekend, and I asked the coaches there, like, "Hey, when did you guys started playing?" And like, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean, with all this COVID going on, the pandemic, like, I think we only stopped 2 weeks in March, and we've been playing tournaments since then. I'm like,
Really
wow. Me myself was surprised. I mean,
interesting.
thinking I'm out here playing. I mean, practicing with our team, not going too many games because I mean we were still trying to figure out what's going on with all this COVID and trying to keep safe and distancing. But I go out here to this tournament, like they've been having tournaments here ever since.
Right.
We've been having a lot of teams out here. Like, wow, you know, and they have sleeves, and I mean, no disrespect. I mean, those coaches were, I mean, not fit, you know, like they say. Um, I don't really want to put it out there, but I mean, pretty big guy. I'm like, wow, like they say. I mean,
I guess yeah.
you're
So
more risk.
you're
Like
trying to
I saw
say
more
that
like as a
yeah,
risk.
the risk factor. If
Um,
you're a little bit
yeah,
overweight with COVID, I got you. I got you. I see what you're
and
saying.
he's
So,
like, nah, I've been out here. We just stopped the first 2 weeks when everything was a shutdown, and once they reopened, and we're back. I mean, they've been playing tournaments. And like, wow, I was pretty surprised myself. And like, we're here trying to go over here and there, but yeah, that's the way it's out here right now. I mean, and that's what I mentioned out. Like, just because fall sports canceled, I
right.
mean,
So at
they're
this
not.
point, you guys are petitioning to get fall sports back. You should give the parents a choice. Let me ask you
Mhm.
this, Rudy. I know a few, 2 or 3 weeks. I know school board member Conrado over there at McAllen. He got a bunch of slack because he was out there supporting 7-on-7 flag football, whatever it is, with Nicky
Yeah,
Roy, I think it was, or I don't know what team it was. It was a McAllen team. Have you
yeah.
guys have you been a part of a 7-on-7 team there with any of the La Jolla kids?
Part of our, I personally did not attend that one, but part of our kids from Palmview, La Jolla, did attend that tournament.
So they were in a team together. Or they were two separate teams.
They were playing together. You know,
Okay.
they were playing the same team.
Do you know where that tournament was held by any chance?
Um, Somewhere in Edinburgh.
Okay, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, no, no worries. I guess the point that
that same place where it was. They always have been having this summer.
yeah, because also then there's been a league this summer there for 7-on-7.
Well, I guess tournaments.
Okay,
They've been holding tournaments and straight working out and training there.
right. The reason I'm asking you that is because we're talking about fall sports. We're talking about football, volleyball, cross country, and I understand. And I guess we have to understand that people that are playing in the 4A, 3As in the middle of Texas or small towns, they're not a hotspot like the Valley is. The Valley's a little bit of a hotspot because, like you said, your wife works with pediatrics. My wife works in the ICU. She's in COVID infested areas all day. She hasn't gotten sick, but of course, wear the mask. She works is protected.
Do
We
do what
haven't
you got
gotten
to
sick,
do.
and I think it was like I was talking to right now. I got off the phone. As a matter of fact, when you were calling me, I got off the phone. I said, "So let me make this comment." This was a conversation we had. It said, "Well, if we do have fall sports, why not just approach it in the sense of, if your son, for example, your son Rudy, the oldest one, we say, okay, Rudy, you're gonna play football, but your job is gonna be do the virtual, go back to school, whatever it is. You're gonna go to practice, but when you get home, as a parent, do we have that understanding, or does the committee have that understanding that if your kids do play, you're basically going to be quarantined for the next, you know, 3 months because your job is going to be you want to follow sports, you got to be responsible with the rest of the community and say because we are playing fall sports, we're not going to go out and about. How do you feel about that kind of approach?
Me, I mean, my personally, I agree. If Like, all right, you're gonna play. You know, if I have to have my other sons like move in with their aunt for a few weeks, I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's my choice. You know, if
Right.
I'm gonna say, you know what, I'm not gonna visit my in-laws to keep them safe, if and keep the community safe, things like that. I mean, I thought about, you know, so that's is will that be mandatory now? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's something to think about. You know, hey,
Right. And
if
and
you're gonna
that's why
be
I'm
a
asking
part of
you.
this team, you're gonna be part of this team. Hey, I would think consideration of parents like, hey, try not to have your kid if he's gonna be playing fall sports. Don't be having them your kid going visiting like your grandparents here and there. You know, of course, you know you gotta take precautions. Why not?
so I'm assuming at this point it would be nice to say or have an understanding in maybe like I know you have your other three, you have four boys. It would be okay.
Hmm.
Rudy's gonna play. Let's just say La Jolla says we're gonna have fall sports. So now maybe not take the other three away from you guys. It's more of okay now because he's playing, we're quarantining ourselves as a family to where we're gonna be a little bit more responsible and not go out and about.
Yeah, you know, of course we still gotta work. You know,
Right, you're
but
still gonna work,
I
but
mean,
like the whole. Go ahead.
but I mean, even though I mean we're not out and about. You know, we're
Right.
not going here and there. You know, since day one, of course, yeah, we've been doing our practicing, trying to stay keep the boys in shape. You
Right.
know, keep them active. Hmm.
I mean, I went. I mean, I was driving home last night. I live here in Palmer's, and Applebee's was packed. I stopped at Brickfire Pizza. I had to talk to somebody about their son's immune system. That was that. People were there. I passed a few restaurants. You know, people are at restaurants. People are at Walmart. People are at
Oh yeah.
HEB. So I think. Let me give you this. Let me get. How do you feel as a parent? How do you feel about this scenario? Because I'm an educator. We talk to teachers. How do you feel when the consensus right now is that most teenage, especially the athletes, well, they're a little bit healthier than most. And their immune system is probably a little bit stronger than a regular adult, a 30-year-old adult, a
Hmm.
40-year-old adult, a 50-year-old adult,
Yeah, of course. Stronger.
whose pancreas, whose kidneys, whose livers have gone through a little bit more than a teenager.
Hmm.
As a teacher, or some teachers are like, well, some might say, well, I don't want to risk my life. Yeah, they might say, yes, teenagers might not be at risk as much, but now you're talking about what if some coaches say, well, I don't want to coach because I don't want to risk my life. What is your take on that as a parent?
I mean, but that's their choice. You know, I mean, I mean, don't bring them all back as a teacher. I mean, don't bring all the students pack the class. Take precautions. You know, hey, start coming out a little bit. You know, facing your fears. You know, yeah. I mean, this is real. The virus is real. You know, but you can't be just hunkered in. You know, you gotta come out and test the waters. You know, with safety first. You know, wear your sleeve. Right now, nobody's around me. You know, I did hand sanitize the table before I sat down. You know, clean my
Right.
hands. I should be good, you know. You gotta clean it with disinfected uh, wipes, you know, things like that. You gotta take precautions when you go out and about in your class, you know.
I,
Um, but
when,
they gotta think of things like that, you know. Teachers that, hey, before I take off my sleeve, I better have my hands clean before I start touching my mouth, you know. Before I get the kids' paper back, make sure I clean my hands before I decide to touch my face, you know. Um, Go
Rudy,
ahead.
let me ask you before I have two questions. One is hold on. Let me write this down before I forget. How can you give us an insight on what was the kind of support and showing that you've had today there? Well, what time do you guys start there at Peter Piper today?
I believe around 12 o'clock.
What's been the support or have people been showing up or no? What are the
I
numbers
think
looking like
about 130, we had 130 signatures.
from that showed up today?
Yeah. And
I,
within 2 hours.
and I wonder online if there's been any more people online with those posts you've been posting. Hopefully you get more.
Um, well, I mean, the thing is, it's online, and I guess people do are majority are part of the district. and are afraid of their actually position that compromise their work. You know, if you don't see as much as signatures as the sheet that I have versus the one that's roaming around online.
So at this point, you have what? Let's say 200 or 300 signatures combined, maybe
130 on hand.
130.
I haven't
Nice.
seen. I'm not sure what's out there online at the moment.
And that's okay. So okay. So now we're talking about okay. Let's talk about deadlines and decisions that parents have to make. So let's say worst case scenario. Okay. Well, let's see. Tuesday or is it Wednesday? There's a deadline coming up on Tuesday or Wednesday. What's the time on? Let's not go there
I
yet.
think it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. Tuesday. Tuesday is the deadline for what, Rudy?
Transferring your kids.
Transferring your kids. So if on Monday shows up, or so Tuesday you could say, you know what, Mission Veterans, I want to enroll my son Rudy Olivarez at this school. Do you plan on doing that if La Jolla doesn't give you the green light? Or Mission
I
Eagles?
said I said no. I mean, I must because it will be a lot of hassle to me. I'll miss it for if he doesn't play. Sad to say, that I will not. Well, it goes both ways, but um, it's kind of hard for me to transfer. I did think about it, due to the hardship. I did call UIL, did speak out, reached out. What can be
What
done?
is UIL saying? Let us know. Explain that to us. Elaborate.
The UIL states there in their website that the school district needs to try before canceling. Look for coaches who are willing to participate before actually even considering canceling fall sports or any sports.
So La Jolla can still say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and have fall sport. Do you know what the deadline is there for they can to start? So they can say it's not too late to go back and have fall sports?
If I'm correct, if I'm not correct, correct me anybody out there, but maybe by the 28th, I think.
By the 28th of September.
Yeah,
I think so
I might
because
be
that's when
wrong.
they
I'm
start.
not sure. If I'm
I think they start
wrong, I
practice.
mean,
Yeah, right. I no, I think you might be a day or two off, or maybe you're right on the money. I think that's when they start practice. Because I know I run into Coach Benoit at the golf course. He's with Mission Eagles, and I talked to him. Hey, awesome. That's the list. That's good stuff right there. There you go. There you go. Nice. I like it. People showed up. People signed.
and and I was nominated for this. It's not something that I chose. That hey, I want to do this. I was nominated, so that's what I'm here for. Speak for the community, the fall sports community. Not speaking just on my son, but all these other
Right. Right.
students, parents that
Right.
they want their choice.
They want their choice. They want their choice.
Hmm and
Uh,
like UIL states, if it's a coaches, I spoke to coaches. They're good. It's just the district is holding us back.
right.
And another point, what I heard, the article that was out there that the parent committee, voted no fall sports, and that's false.
That's incorrect. Okay. That's
And that's where
incorrect.
the parents are a little upset.
Mm.
And kind of like a lot of our parent committee got pretty, they got blasted on because why did you vote that? And we're like, well,
Mm.
we never voted.
Right. Right.
But there's an article that states that out there. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that article, but I did hear about it in our last meeting this Tuesday, where that was stated out there, where that the parent committee, voted no for no fall sports.
Right. But you guys want fall sports. So
A lot of parents do want a lot of fall
right.
sports.
In any situation, so we know. Okay. So we can always come back, say there's gonna have fall sports. They can get prepared. You start practice when everybody else starts practice. That's the easy route. That's the easy case, right? That's the easy situation. You already mentioned you won't transfer your son out. Are there any parents out there from your talks that are gonna be okay? You know what? La Jolla's not gonna have fall sports. I'm transferring my son or daughter out of here, and I'm taking them to Mission, Veterans, Sherryland. Is there any talks about that? Rio Grande, La
Oh,
Grulla, neighboring.
they already transferred. Some
Really?
already transferred already.
Do,
Yeah.
do you know the number there, by any chance?
It's not a high number, but they heard they already transferred, and
Yeah,
some
but
are planning if
right.
they
If they don't
cancel.
come, bring it back.
Yeah. hmm But because La Jolla had a plan, proposed a plan to have fall sports.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's what
that's
we
the
talk
thing.
about,
And
the
then,
modification, the modifying
yeah.
stuff. I see. So do you know,
But then,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no. And then what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, Hidalgo County lifts their shelter in play, or not lifted, but I mean, extends.
Right.
La Jolla comes in and rationally just cancels fall sports. So
Right.
now this Monday, and maybe that's why you see more people out in restaurants last night because Monday, Hidalgo County lifts their shelter in place, which will no longer are at. You know, so there's no
Yeah.
longer shelter in place. I mean, yeah, the virus is still out there. Um, the curfew is still out there. Um, Greg Abbott announced, of course, I mean, let's not get too politically involved in Abbott and, but
Right.
he announced where stores the capacity is much more, is 75%. So that's why yesterday you might have seen, well, man, this restaurant, Applebee's, has more people now. Well, because they announced it where the capacity is 75%, which is a good sign. Things are getting better, you know, and that's a hope that I was talking about a month ago in that Zoom meeting with directors and principals that all I heard in their meeting was loss of hope and yeah, for these kids,
Mm.
canceling fall sports about a month and a half ago or a month ago, somewhere around there. And like, we haven't even started school yet, and you guys already canceled fall sports. You guys losing faith and hope. These are our kids that we're talking about.
Rudy, let me ask you this from
hmm
from this perspective. You're a taxpayer. You pay taxes. You pay taxes to the district. There's
Every
no
year
false.
for the past 15
Right.
years.
Right. So there's no false sports. Do you think that because the coaching stipend is for after school? We get paid in two different ways: our teaching profession, our athletic period class, and whatever we do during the day, and then we get paid again for a stipend for the after school stuff we do. Do you think,
hmm
as a taxpayer and a parent of the district, that coaches should be getting paid their stipend even though they're not doing any after school stuff?
Why should they get paid?
Well, I'm asking you. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're not doing anything after school sports. Why should they get paid?
So you think if La Jolla does go ahead and doesn't bring the false sports back, then those coaches shouldn't.
You're cutting out, Mendez.
Okay, let me. I think it's my intercom over here.
Sorry. You're cutting out.
All right, here we go. Can you hear me now? You good? Are we good? Rudy, are we good?
Mendez.
I'm right here,
Hello.
Rudy. I'm here, Rudy.
No, I can't hear you, Mendez. You're there?
Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see what I messed with. I should be good. Can you hear me now? Test, test. 1, 2, 3, mic check. Test, test. Mic 2, 3, 1, check. Give me a second. We're having some technical difficulties. Give me a second. Let me try to fix this real quick. Let me see. Let me test. Test audio. Yeah, my audio is working, so we should be good. Rudy, can you hear me now? Rudy. Rudy, we have some technical difficulties. We'll give him a sec. So either way, as he comes back, he's calling me. Give me, yo, Rudy. I'm like, what's going on? Can you hear me? Hold on, viewers. Hold on, viewers. We're on the taxpayers. Hello. Yeah, yeah. I'm still live. I'm still live. Try to get back in real quick. Yeah, try to come back in. Okay, Rudy's gonna try to come back in real quick. It's a very interesting point.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now. I can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you. I can
Sorry.
hear you. I can hear you. He's back. He's
Let
back.
me.
So Rudy, can you hear me? So my biggest point is maybe Palmview, the city of Palmview needs some towers.
Okay.
Maybe Rudy, maybe the city of Palmview needs some new towers there. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see
Yeah, I have
if
trouble. Can't hear you.
so. That means that the city of Palmview, either the current elected officials or the new elected officials need Oh, he's calling me. He's calling me again. I got you. He'll call me again. He's got to get out. Let me. You know what? Let me kick him out of the studio and then have him log back in real quick. All right. Either way. So viewers, he'll be back in a little bit. Give me a second. Yo, Rudy. Rudy. Bueno, those are some technical difficulties we're having with the live feed, the internet connection there in the city of Palmview. So maybe the current elected officials can call Verizon or whoever they need to call to get some towers in the city with better towers so there can be better phone reception and or vote for new people. Either you're gonna hello. Yeah, you're cutting out. Try to reconnect. Go back to that link and try to reconnect. I kicked you out and then I try to reconnect. Okay. All right. So that's I'm still having on the phone. So that's technical difficulties we're having because better towers there in Palmview. So I guess that's a message for the campaign right now. Whoever's there right now, please go ahead and input some towers or vote for new people that will get some towers there in the city of Palm because obviously it's a situation that a person that lives there is having the reception is bad there in Peter Piper Pizza. Yo. All right, go for it. Another thing is, so right now me and Rudy are talking about the subject was should coaches who are not coaching fall sports that their stipend revolves around the fall sports, should they get their stipend again? Or should they be getting paid? I personally, me and the whole tax thing, and for those that have been following me, when it comes to taxes, he's coming back on right now. I see him right here. He's going to be in the green room once he gets established. Me personally, I don't think coaches should be getting paid if they're not going to coach the stipend that, it's a coaching stipend for after school extracurricular activities. As a taxpayer, I'm a big believer in, I don't mind paying taxes if the tax dollars are going to be used correctly. But if people aren't going to be getting paid, can you hear me, Rudy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Hey, Rudy, so I'm talking to the viewers about, I hung up. Rudy. Yeah, whenever he cuts off, he's cutting off. He's cutting off. So we're probably gonna. Rudy, you came on and then you went off.
Yeah, I mean, it's having dark connections. I could see myself now. But,
Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me through the headphones? Go ahead and talk, Rudy. See if I can hear you through the broadcast. Yeah, hold on. Give me a sec. No, I can't hear you when you're talking into the broadcast. So I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna put the phone. I don't have that kind of wire. Yes, I do. Give me 3 seconds, real quick. Actually, no. I don't have that kind of connection. Ni modo. No se va a poder.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing the job, why are you gonna get paid after school if it's canceled?
Right. I was telling the viewers while you were trying to get connected, Rudy. While you were trying to get connected, I mentioned two things. One is in a joking way is the current elected officials. We need to get some towers to have better phone reception there in the city of Palmview. And if they can't do it, they need to elect new elected officials to get some towers. Whoever wins, whether it's the current or the new ones, or
Lost you again.
it's okay. And then is the whole coaching. But see, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you, Rudy. Rudy, I can hear you. He's gonna go outside to get better reception. So he's talking about coaches shouldn't get paid. I firmly believe as a taxpayer, we shouldn't get paid.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Rudy. Rudy, Rudy. Rudy. He's going to call me from the other phone. Rudy, do me a favor. Disconnect your AirPods. Just go without the Bluetooth. All right, so that's the stuff. We're trying here to get the parents message across. They obviously want sports. I didn't know this committee existed. A lot of people talk about the risk factor, but there's people playing either way. There's people playing either way. He's been playing in tournaments. There's people across the valley playing in tournaments. There's people having games. There's people having practice. There's people having trainings. So it just depends. There's only one big question left. There's only one. There he is, my man Patrick Olivarez. What's going on, Pat? I got to coach him. He was a very good player of mine. Very good kid. There you go. Can you hear me now, guys?
Gotta get back.
There you go. I can hear you. Rudy, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
From the phone, but I can't hear you earlier. Yeah.
All right. You want to do it like that? Okay. Well, there he goes again. So either way, so I think there's only one big question left. There's only one big question left, and that's the biggest thing is moving forward. The easy one is La Jolla gets fall sports. We talked about if La Jolla doesn't get fall sports, how many parents are going to transfer? You talked about there are some that already transferred. I mean, if it's one of the top, let's say it's 5 players, and then those 5 players are some of the top players, that will affect the program, and then they can't have. How do they establish residency when they come back, or are they going to plan to stay over there already? Do you know where they transferred over already, Rudy? Like the Eagles? Eagles or veterans? One or two. No, Rudy, you know what? I can't hear you. If I can't hear you on my hold on. If I can't hear you on my headphones, that means people can't hear you, Rudy.
All right, can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right, sorry, I'm on my wife's phone.
No worries. At least we've got it figured out. We got a little 5-minute glitch, no big deal.
Yeah, some have already transferred, what I've heard. Which school is not sure, but I mean that's their parents' choice,
Right. So they're kind of it's a forced choice, I think. So
Yeah.
my biggest thing is those that have transferred, Rudy, are they seniors? Are they juniors? What grade level are they in?
I'm not sure. More likely seniors. I mean, like I tell other parents, well, my son is a junior. Why would I want to transfer him?
Right.
You still got next year, or he's a freshman or sophomore. I mean, it's more. I mean, for me, it's more on the seniors.
Yeah, their last
Who
year.
knows? I mean, every parent, you know what? He might be a freshman, and you know what? I'm gonna transfer him.
See, because
that's
I went on.
what they do.
I went on Facebook and I put a comment and I stated, me as a parent, and my kids here, if my district were to tell me, hey, and let's say like in your case, a junior, I would, even a sophomore, I would say, you know what, we're not going to play. I need to go transfer you over, establish your 1-year residency, get your reps in JV, and then you're either your senior year or your junior senior, stay at that school. But of course, not everybody has the means, or it gets complicated, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
but like you said, some parents already did transfer their kids. And my biggest concern, if they're seniors, well, that's okay, I guess. But what about the juniors that now the district will lose because how is it going to be easy for them to come back as seniors?
I mean, that's parents' choice, and that's where that's where they were left at. Make that
Right.
choice if they want to go and come back or go. I mean, they should have the right of that choice.
Right. So I think we've exhausted the point. Parents want To is there anything else you're doing Sunday or Monday, or what are you guys as parents waiting on now? Are you guys going to take any more action, or now it's a waiting game?
I'll let you know. I'll see anything else I hear. Well, I mean, I'll let you know. See what's our next step.
So after today and the petitions that you guys signed, so now it's see what
I
happens.
believe there's a meeting coming up uh, Thursday. Parents should try to come in and voice their parents,
Thursday,
voice
who's
their
meeting? Are you
concerns.
talking about? Are you talking about your
Uh,
committee or the school board?
the school board, or not the school board, but with the superintendent.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
so
But that so
I'm
that's
sure
after
that.
but that's after the transfer window.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens
So
if La Jolla says, okay, we're gonna keep it as is, no false sports, the transfer window's already over. Now what for parents and their
well,
kids?
if they say no false sports, well, not no false sports. I mean,
But what happens to the kids that want to transfer out then? If you already missed the transfer deadline, do you know anything about that?
I do not know. I did not further investigate on that because I decided not to transfer. It's certain. I mean, it was a hard decision because I mean it will take a lot,
Uh,
to
uh,
transfer my son. I
right.
mean,
In your situation amongst your parents, have you guys discussed? Has anyone discussed that if things stay as they are they are they hardship transfer by any chance?
yeah, you can still transfer, I believe.
So some parents,
I think you'll just have like a 14-day waiting period before you get back on the field.
so then some parents are already looking at that option. If La Jolla stays with no false sports, they're gonna move forward and transfer their son or daughter out.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have the right to, why not? It's their
Okay,
choice.
just want to make sure we try to touch base on more, not just you, but some of the talks.
And as a parent and them as doing that, coaches, administration should not have hold the grudge against that. Where if a cottage comes back and wants their opinion, was he a good player or not? Don't hold that against that child or that player, that athlete.
Right,
Don't take it to the heart.
right,
It was not your fault nor the child's fault. It's the district's fault of the choices what we're making based on there because we didn't have that choice to make. You know.
right. And that's a good point. I mean, it kind of at the point where you say your hand was forced.
Because
Some of
one
the
thing,
parents' hands were forced.
because that's what came to my mind on transferring my son. I got three other sons coming into La Jolla. Okay, the
Right.
coaches take that as I moved them, and
Mm.
then it's gonna fall effect on my younger kids coming up.
Hmm.
That was something I didn't really think about because I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a hard decision, but that's one thing I came out to, and I did reach out to some coaches like, hey, you guys gave me the green light to speak. I don't want to be stepping on nobody's toes, but I'm just speaking out for the community and myself. And it's like,
Right.
oh, you're good. All right. I don't want to be
Right.
saying. I mean, you're speaking for the community. So
Right, right,
I mean,
right. And like you said, it's a committee. You were the one that was nominated to come on the show and talk, reach out. I think the biggest thing with this, Rudy, is just to make sure that uh, the committee, the parents of kids that want their kids to play, to be heard. Obviously, you guys want them to play. There's a lot of things considered. And hopefully, let's see. I mean, me personally, I'm all for fall sports, but you personally know my stance on the immune system. I have a very different mindset when it comes to things like that, but that's just me.
yeah, I hear you.
But let's just hope. Let's keep the people posted out
Keep
there
hope.
and informed.
Gotta keep hope out there, man. I mean, it's like I said a month ago. You don't know what's gonna happen, and look at now, things looking
True.
better. I mean, shelter in place no longer in place. I mean, Walmart, both doors are open. People trying to understand. Hey, wear your sleeve. You know,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're around within 6 feet. Wash your hands after if you tap somebody's hand here and that. I mean, people are starting to understand a little bit more about this virus. Than what we did back in March, where we just canceled everything. You
Right.
know, and
True.
sheltered in place, and even that. I mean, we still got those numbers up high. Because people wouldn't wear their sleeve, wash their hands. you know.
I got you. No
So
doubt. Hey, we'll see.
man.
Keep us posted. And thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Later. Peace.
Later.
Puro coyote, papá.
Yes, sir.
Woo. Yeah.
Over.
Yeah. Well, that's Rudy. Rudy Olivarez. He's a dad. They're at his sons have I've had the privilege. I've been fortunate to coach his sons. Great kids. Does a great job. Very, very respectful gentleman. The committee is speaking. They want to be heard. They had that event at Peter Piper. We'll see. We'll see. At the end of the day, I think it's the biggest statement would be the parents that are not going to let their kids play don't get affected either or. But the parents that do want their kids to get played get affected by not having fall sports. I'm not the boss. I'm not. What my opinion doesn't count. I'm here to inform and what parents want, what the community wants, and let's see where people move on from here. And we'll see. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the comments made, and I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully the city of Palmview can get some towers going up there and get better phone service for people out there. But this message for you today was brought to you by World Finance. When life throws unexpected expenses your way, World Finance is here to help. Whether it's medical bill, car repairs, or child care expenses, a personal installment or title loan can help you take control and get back to the good things in life. Even if you have a low credit score or no credit score, they will help you get the money you need. Get started by applying today at their Mission location at 1600 North Conway, Suite A, Mission, Texas. They can take applications by phone at 956-580-4533, or you can visit their website at loansbyworld.com. They are accepting applications with matriculas, passport, or ITIN. You do not need to have a social to apply. All loans are subject to the usual credit underwriting policies. I know the boss down there. I know the manager. Great guy. He lets me know the inside. He is a great talks to me about the interest rates and the loans, and it's a great company to go get yourself a loan. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the show. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. I got a game to watch. UTSA is playing who is it? Steven Navarro? I don't even know the name. It doesn't matter. We're going to win. UTSA is going to win. So, hey, see you guys later. Go Road Runners and go Coyotes.